In this video, I will explain the movie Nizhal, which is an Indian Malayalam-language 2021 mystery thriller film. John Baby, the protagonist of this movie, is recovering from a traumatic accident, meets Nitin, a young boy who interests him with murder stories. The whole mystery unfolds as Baby goes deep and explores the possibility of Nitin's stories. The way this story unfolds new mysteries and twists is watchable. So watch till the end of this video to know the full movie story. The scene starts showing a car accident. If you watch carefully, the car had hit a bike. Didn't see? Watch again. The man behind the face mask is John Baby, played by Kunchako Boban. He's the one who was driving the car. He's now being discharged from the hospital after getting treated. John Baby is a judicial magistrate and lives alone in his house. Rajan and his wife Shalini are friends with John Baby. Remember the name Shalini as she plays an important character in this movie. His friend Rajan drops John Baby at his house. His mother had gone to stay in abroad with his sister's family, and this is his niece Katrina. The mother video calls John Baby, who says he cannot access his camera because of poor internet connectivity due to heavy rain. In reality, Baby had deliberately switched off his camera so that his mother doesn't get frightened to see him in his condition. He resumes to work and meets his boss, Ajit Kumar AS, Chief Judicial Magistrate. It is revealed here that his face mask is generally used by the boxing and football players to treat bone injury, and the same was recommended by his doctor to get his broken nose back into shape. It is also revealed that Baby chased the bike as the driver called him by names before sideswiping the bike. Ajit tells Baby to be worried about the bike driver's safety and tells to act responsibly as he is a judicial officer and not a freshman. This explanation maybe is too informative, but these tiny observations will help to unfold the mystery in the end. So stay tuned. Ajit tells Baby to join with him in a meeting with Law Secretary and believes Law Secretary's anger will subside if he sees Baby's face. Unwillingly, Baby accompanies Ajit, where Ajit further explains that it was not easy to convince the parents of the boy who was injured too. Ajit cautions Baby that none of the cops like him and they are all waiting to seize an opportunity to be used against Baby. Ajit states that Baby was lucky since the traffic TCP was new who wants to settle the case without spoiling Baby's career. Ajit tells Baby it was unintelligent of him getting involved in such trouble while he is expecting a promotion. Hence, Ajit had to bring along Baby for the meeting with the law secretary. Baby is someone who is strict with his co workers and is a bit aggressive badass in nature. Baby profusely refuses Ajit to not let him attend the meeting as it might backfire if he ends up arguing with the law secretary. So Baby tells Ajit's driver to drop him at the mall, mentioning that it could have been better if he had an umbrella as it is raining cats and dogs. At this moment, both Ajit and his driver give a blank look because it was not raining at all as claimed by Baby. Sensing something isn't right, Ajit takes Baby to Dr. Bashir, a psychiatrist, further telling Baby to get fitness certificate from the doctor before he resumes to work. Baby tries to check whether it is really raining or not. He notices that the raindrops keep disappearing and the fact he's not drenched in the rainwater. Dr. Bashir tells Baby to take this lightly as Baby is facing post traumatic stress disorder (PTSD), an aftershock that is generally experienced by the people after an accident. Now comes a twist in the story, and Shalini will be the one to involve Baby in a gifted child's case. Who is this child and what his gift is? Let's get to the story now. Being unconvinced with the doctor's reply, Baby then looks forward to Shalini's opinion as he believes she will share upfront and unbiased thoughts. She assures Baby to not worry if his PTSD is not persisting, but only after mentioning that Baby needs to understand the difference between his Dr. Bashir, a psychiatrist, and her being psychologist who treats children. Baby's friend Rajan, Shalini's husband, is a real character who does not leave any opportunity to pull Baby's leg. He even laughs at Baby for his face mask, and now he jokingly says to Shalini that she can treat John as a baby since he is John Baby. Well, he has a point there. She tells Baby about an incident where a teacher told her class to tell a story in their free period, while others went on about stories of a cat and crow. Unusually, a 7-8 year old boy narrated a murder story. The teachers and children got horrified and called her to intervene. But Shalini thought the boy must have been inspired by some stories he had watched on television, so she encouraged him for his storytelling abilities. Baby hires Kaif as his car driver for his commuting purpose. Despite resuming to work, Baby does not stop noticing the rain during a court session. So Baby goes to Ajit seeking 5 days leave, saying that he finds extremely inconvenient to go out in public with his face mask. Here Baby hides the fact that he is still experiencing the PTSD. But Ajit responds to reconsider his leave only after clearing the backlog and pending cases before court's summer break, and that for any leaves he should ask the district magistrate. This revelation of upcoming summer is very interesting because it would have been winter when Baby had his car accident and seeing rain almost every day. I told you, even the little observation will unfold the story's mystery interestingly. He's sitting on a bench outside his office building and he seems to be normal as he continues seeing the rain. Shalini and Baby meet to discuss about the gifted 8-year-old boy. Shalini reveals the boy's name is Nitin and that his teacher found his murder story scribbled written in his notebook in Malayalam. Shalini is confirmed that it was written by the boy himself due to the writing style, grammar errors, and other typos. He was born and brought up in Bangalore earlier before shifting into Info Park and joining the school only in midterm. Shalini says that Sharmila got angry to take her child's prank too seriously. Nitin's mother Sharmila is played by Nayantara, a single mother and famous graphic designer. Nitin's father had died in an accident. Shalini mentions that the murder story Nitin wrote was about drowning a man in a pond by tying a big stone to him. Shalini says the boy has referred a place which he has never heard of. The place is Karuvata, a remote village in Alapura. Baby takes interest to meet the boy when Shalini further reveals that a particular phrase stands out in his story which was not written by Nitin but someone else. The phrase that Baby is holding read as, "The weight of all that was read is enough to prevent from coming up floating." On call, Sharmila tells Shalini to meet her first and she will decide whether they can meet Nitin. Sharmila questions about the need to involve judicial magistrate directing at Baby, to which Baby says that he and Nitin's psychologist Shalini are good friends, discuss cases in general and wants to meet Nitin casually only, without any motive behind. When Shalini tells it is very unusual to refer the place that Nitin hasn't heard before, Sharmila defends Nitin of being intelligent and creative, and most adults do the same that could coincidentally connect with real life incidents. For this reason alone, she cannot allow Nitin, who is already disturbed by this incident, to get more hurt by any further interrogation. At first, Sharmila is overprotective towards Nitin, but when Baby tells Sharmila about how such cases require serious intervention from the police and the law, Sharmila agrees to cooperate and allows them to meet Nitin in her house. This is Meghna, Nitin's caretaker. Here comes Nitin, the little hero of this movie, who will take this story to a different level. The mask that Nitin wanted to be taken off so badly became the reason for Nitin's curiosity and asks whether he can get a mask of his color choice. Baby, who finds Nitin adorable, says he'll surely try, and Sharmila could not stop noticing Nitin getting friendly towards Baby. Sharmila hands over to Baby the story page written by Nitin and then the duo take leave. In the car, Baby and Shalini come up with their own conclusion that Sharmila knows there is something wrong with Nitin but will take time for coming to terms with it eventually. On the other hand, Baby studies the story written by Nitin. Next, he goes to Alapura and visits Haripad police station in Karuvata. He meets Haftab, a senior police who assigns CPO Sainuddin for this case. In the conversation with Sainuddin, Baby mentions whether there is any pond which hasn't been used for many years. Vijayan, a local policeman, informs that there is such pond in Karamudu, half a mile from their police station, and has remained unused when a healthcare center was shut down after a general hospital was built in the vicinity. This building had a full-time compounder. After it was shut down, this place was used for many antisocial elements such as boozing, gambling, etc. Then a circle inspector named Sharaf caught them and evacuated the place. After the land was acquired, the local body demolished the healthcare center, building the road. After knowing the place has been vacant since 8 years, Baby reaches the place along with the police. At the same time, notice Nitin, who is playing on the school ground suddenly appears pale and stands in one place after everyone returned to their classes. The teacher offers water to Nitin, who seems to be dehydrated after playing in the sun. Before he could drink water, he vomits. The healthcare staff attends the boy, and Sharmila is told by the teacher that Nitin's condition is not serious but due to hydration and he will be alright. Meanwhile, villagers witness the diver searching the pond to find something. It is a human skull from the remains that is sitting at the pond's bottom. Baby is as shocked as the villagers, and we see it starts raining again. The police inquire whether Baby already knew this murder case, but Baby hides the truth with a lie, saying he had information of banned and fake currency notes to be hidden in this pond. Baby returns to his friend and Shalini, then reveals that the murder story Nitin had written is 100% based on real incident, and that the guy who was murdered, his remains were actually found in the pond. Now, Ajit grills Baby after coming to know about Baby's investigation from their district magistrate, who was first informed by the Home Secretary. The DGP has raised query why to have state police when judges can directly probe into the case. When judges are expert in passing their judgment on the basis of evidences, even after being caught, the movie hero Baby, a judge, cooks a perfect story on lies to escape from Ajit's interrogation. Listen to this. Baby says that as he planned to do PhD from a law university, for the proposal he referred some files from library and archives on the cases belonging to the place that led him to investigate out of his curiosity only. But the police there messed it up. Baby tells Ajit that he had to lie to the police about the stash of fake currencies in order to start the investigation. Ajit senses that Baby is hiding something. He then asks Baby to send the references of the files. When Baby reassures that everything was true and that it was a 7-8-year-old case, Ajit clears that according to forensic report, the skeleton has been lying since 30 years and that the skeleton is being sent to anthropology lab in Delhi for confirmation. Baby tells everything to Shalini and tells that Nitin should not come to know about recent developments. Shalini informs that Sharmila wants to meet Baby. Why Sharmila, who was protective about Nitin, would now want to meet Baby? Let's find out. They both meet in person. Sharmila reveals that she has searched through Nitin's belongings and found nothing suspicious. She confirms that this is the first time Nitin had written some murder story like this, only after Sharmila insisted Nitin to learn Malayalam. She did not think things will shape up like this. Sharmila thanks Baby for having concern over Nitin, the fact that Baby wants Nitin to stay away from the recent developments. Baby says Shalini is good with children and let her find out from Nitin on the case if they have missed anything. Sharmila opens up that Baby is good with children too, as Nitin did not take time to get friendly with Baby, and that Nitin addresses Baby as Bebo, a name kept by Karan Johar for his best friend Kareena Kapoor. Hey viewers, tell me please in the comment section who is your Bebo and why. Finally, the Batman mask is gone. He was nearly ignored by his driver Kaif, who could not recognize him. Baby often visits Sharmila and is close to Nitin. He seems to be fallen in love but is in denial. And also his PTSD is vanishing. Don't believe me? See this. He thought it wasn't raining, but Nitin and Sharmila come to visit Baby. The trio visits Baby's mother. They all have nice time with each other. The mother directly asks Sharmila whether she and Baby are in a relationship, but Sharmila clarifies that there is nothing between them and that Baby and her son get along very well. The mother then reveals to Sharmila that Baby in his college days and when his father was alive, he was in love with a girl who would visit them. But both fell out of love and went in their ways. Till date, Baby had been single. Nitin and Baby are sitting on a bench where Nitin says that he has got more stories to share. Listening to this, Baby's PTSD returns and he starts to see it raining. No, no, don't hit the stop button now. The story behind the skull is going to unravel. At the commissioner's office, Baby comes to know that the skeleton is of Mohan, who went missing 28 years ago. He was a coconut tree climber and partook in social activism. After his meeting, a policeman is assigned to follow and keep a close watch on Baby. Policeman comes to the restaurant where Baby and Sharmila are having conversation. He tells her that he is clueless how to go about the case now. Sharmila informs him that Nitin did not disclose about the new story to Shalini. Shalini believes that Nitin confides in Baby as he trusts Baby a lot. Anu from Karuveta, who introduces that she and Mohan were to get married. After 7-8 years of Mohan's disappearance, she married someone else and had 2 kids. When Baby asks her whether Mohan have had any enemies, she mentions He was not timid but very bold to voice out against any injustice. Mohan was a man with pride. That's why the government job that he was to get on the basis of his caste, he turned down the job when someone pointed that to Mohan. Then he became coconut palm climber. Bhanu reveals that the day Mohan went missing, dike at Tottapalli estuary breaks. Dike is basically a wall to restrict the flow of water, and estuary is the tidal mouth where all the streams of the river meet at one point. Due to the breaking of this dike, water gets into the field. Bhanu says that while everyone thought Mohan went missing, all this while he was lying in the bottom of that pond. Now she asks the scariest question to Baby. She asks whether it was a dead Mohan who told where he was. This sends Baby in panic mode and presses the calling bell frantically for someone to usher Bhanu out of his office. When Rajan tells Baby not to believe in Bhanu's stories, Baby says that she has a point too, and that Nitin should have come to know from the one who murdered Mohan or Mohan's soul. Shalini is also sure that someone has told to Nitin, but why is Nitin withholding this information? She suggests Baby to ask Nitin. Next scene shows Nitin and Meghna playing at the seashore while Sharmila reveals about her past. She says that her deceased husband Sachin was a special correspondent with the Statesman and they met in Delhi. They moved to Bangalore where their marriage was registered. Sharmila's parents had died when she was very young. Sachin's parents didn't accept their marriage due to caste difference and they both were supported by friends and colleagues. She reveals that Sachin had obsession towards investigative stories. One night, he went to meet an unknown source in an under construction building, but whether it was an accident or something else, no one knows. When Sachin died, the same night Nitin was born. And it could be that Sachin's soul would be telling Nitin about such stories. Baby couldn't handle anymore and asks Nitin to tell about the place that involves his next story. Nitin gives Baby his next lead as Cheraitura. Nitin's story goes like this is that there is a dark brown colored large swamp which is a dumping place for full Cheraitura's rotten fishes. The fatty was also dumped like the rotten fishes there. As his body went down, bubbles came up. The police chief experiences a brake fail and could not follow Baby's car. Baby asks Aftab to find marshy land in Haripet. Aftab takes Baby to Michael, a retired ASP. Michael takes them to Meenmut, only to find that the marshy land was filled with huge building complex. Then Michael narrates story of Yohanan, whose ancestral property stretched from this marshy land till the estuary. He used to contest as independent candidate in election and would consume alcohol that he only produced it. Baby's attention is grabbed at the mention that the man was very fat and had died in this marshy land after being intoxicated. Michael further explains that files kept at Haripet's police station would give all the details on Yohanan's death. While Baby walks on the marshy land, he stops when he feels a hand from the ground grabbing his leg. Baby tells Sharmila that Nitin's story is real too, and that it is quarter century old, around 25 years. The injured policeman who was assigned by the superintendent reports that Baby goes to the court in the morning and returns to his wife and kid in the evening. He shows Sharmila and Nitin's picture. The superintendent, who knows Baby isn't married, asks his team member to inquire about how Sharmila and Nitin are connected to Baby. Sharmila informs to Baby after her son Nitin was interrogated by a policeman inside a school premises. Baby assures Sharmila that the inquiry will be called off as he has told everything to his chief boss. But Baby insists Sharmila that they need to check Sachin's file in Bangalore. Sharmila tells Baby that Sachin files are with Sachin's editor living in Hoganikal after his retirement. Baby's ex-driver Khaif takes them in a different car so that they won't be tracked by the police department. On the way, Baby informs his next action step to Shalini, who seems to be very skeptical about them going for Sachin's files. But Baby assures that he needs Nitin to be out of this sensitive issue soon. Next day morning, they reach the editor's house and the editor hands over Sachin's file and laptop to Baby. Baby confirms that the investigative stories in Sachin's files do not match with the stories coming from Nitin. Later that evening, Sharmila tells Baby that she has decided to move to Europe along with Nitin, so that Nitin will eventually forget everything that is connected with this land. Is this the dead end for the case and their story? Baby wakes up with weird visions and some voices leads him to Nitin's room where he gets shocked to know that Sharmila is the one who has been narrating murder stories to Nitin in his sleep. Disturbed baby leaves early morning, telling Kaif to drop both Sharmila and Nitin as per their convenience. So is Sharmila the murderess? Baby has some other observation. Baby believes that Sharmila is not yet aware that she has been sleep talking Nitin with stories. Shalini says that this might have been captured by Nitin's subconscious mind, which is activated after he sleeps. And then the stories are recreated inside Nitin after waking up. Baby and Shalini both believe that Sharmila too must have heard similar stories in her childhood. Finally, Baby tells Sharmila that it was her all this time who has been telling Nitin the stories in her sleep. It is revealed that Sharmila's deceased mom was a government clerk at Water Authority, and her father was a clerk at LIC who died when Sharmila was just 2. Sharmila does not believe that she listened such stories from her parents. On Baby's request, Ajit hands over a detailed investigation report on Sharmila's deceased mother, which makes Baby to take Sharmila to a location. He introduces Sharmila to Vishwanathan, who feigns taking her mother's name Radhamani. Then Sharmila tells Baby that Vishwanathan, being mom's colleague, was with them whenever they needed him. After her mom's death and while growing up, Sharmila wondered whether both her mother and Vishwanathan loved each other. When Vishwanathan regains his consciousness, Shalini tells that they are aware of him, telling all his heinous crime acts in the form of stories to Sharmila in her sleep. Vishwanathan adds, when he saw Sharmila's mother, he dreamt of living as husband and wife, for which he had Radhama's consent to. But it was not too long after Sharmila's father's death and the fear of society will talk about them, they did not go ahead. He would iterate his crimes to Radhama, who would listen to the stories with Sharmila asleep in her lap. Vishwanathan tries to defend, but Baby says his final words that he will be arrested by the police upon his discharge by tomorrow. Everyone leaves, but Sharmila excuses herself in the pretext of attending a video conference, but she helps Vishwanathan to escape from the hospital with some money before bidding him goodbye. Baby takes Nitin along with Shalini and his friend Rajan to their place for that night, and Sharmila is alone in her house. When Nitin mentions that he knows a story of how Aradhama died, without wasting single minute, Baby rushes to Sharmila. Here Sharmila is surprised to see Vishwanathan at her door. Vishwanathan reveals to Sharmila that her mother Radhamani kept telling him to end all the politics for good. Sharmila is left in a state of shock when Vishwanathan tells that he had no choice, killed her mother as she knew all his crimes. Vishwanathan then confesses to Sharmila that to see her cry that night after losing her mother and to make her sleep, he narrated her own mother Radhama's murder story followed by other stories to little Sharmila in her sleep. Sharmila, who is under the spell of sleeping tablets, is unaware that Baby has been calling on her phone but somehow managed to understand that it was Vishwanathan who used his political influence to get rid of her asthmatic mother by choking her to death, reiterating his words that he did not commit using his own hands. Since Sharmila and her son know Vishwanathan's crime stories, he wants to kill them both. But Sharmila attacks Vishwanathan with water jug, but the taller Vishwanathan overpowers her and using the curtain he tries to strangle her. Luckily, Baby tries to stop Vishwanathan, who lets go of Sharmila but loses his footing and falls off from the balcony. The scene shows Baby takes Sharmila and Nitin to drop them at the airport. The scene ends here, showing Baby and Nitin having candid conversation while it is raining at the side of the car where Sharmila is sitting, mostly depicting that now what traumatic experience Nitin and Baby had undergone is now following Sharmila as a shadow, which means the title movie Nilal. Please do hit the like button on this video. It will help to display this video on others' YouTube screen. Thank you. The movie ends here. Thanks for watching. For more storytelling videos, subscribe to the Moodies channel.